And today I wanted to go over a Redfin article. So this just came out actually last week, but basically it says Redfin reports the typical U.S. home is selling for just $4,000 less than last year's all-time high. So again, this is the typical home in the United States. The average price point is actually selling at $383,000, which is about $4,000 less than the all-time high set last June. The area that I serve is Northeast Ohio, so particularly Medina and Cuyahoga counties, but also a fair amount in Summit County. We do some in Lake, Lorain, Wayne. So there's definitely other counties that we touch as well. But this got me thinking as I was looking at this. I was like, okay, well, let's look at the market that I'm serving. And today, I'm actually working from Medina, so you could see all of the numbers that I'm looking at today are a 25-mile radius from Medina here. So you'll see it goes all the way down to Worcester, over into Ashland County, Lorain County, up hitting Cleveland, so you'll have Bay Village, Westlake, Rocky River, going through the downtown area, and then all the way around. I do a fair amount in Cuyahoga Falls and the Akron area as well. So that is basically my main selling points. And what I wanted to look at was, what does the data show us here? So I've done a couple of videos similar to this. I just ran the numbers from 2019 through June of 2023, just so we could see, the graphs are always helpful just because it really depicts the seasonality that we encounter and that most of the United States encounters, but especially here in Northeast Ohio. Not many people want to list their houses in the middle of winter, where it's not fun to have people bringing snow in and out of your house. You have to leave. It's not like you're hanging out outside, or you could go to a park. You don't want to move if you have kids. So that's why we see a lot of or a lot fewer listings in those cold winter months. But as you can see here, what we're comparing to year over year, we're looking at the number of new listings. And basically in 2023, you could see that every month has had fewer listings than we had in those same months in 2022, which in turn basically was less than almost all of the months in 2021, and so on and so forth. So 2020 obviously had a little hiccup or a little change there with COVID, but for the most part, we've just been seeing fewer and fewer new listings. And that's where, partially it's going to be, yes, not many people want to list their home and trade in their 3% interest rate loan for a 7% interest rate loan. But you could see that even comparing 2019, when rates were still good by historical standards, but compared to 2020 through 2021, it wasn't like there was a huge difference in number of new listings. So I thought that was interesting. When we go over to the number of active listings, because this is what people have been thinking, they're like, okay, well, interest rates, they more than double from the start of 2022 to the end of 2022. That's gotta, increase the number of active listings, meaning there's more inventory for houses available for sale because houses aren't going to sell as quickly. Well, this debunks that myth right here. You could see that the number of active listings did jump up compared to 2022, especially the beginning portion of 2022. Keep in mind, beginning of last year, we were still looking at a 3.1% average for the 30-year fixed rate loan. So a lot of people were still in the two handles there. And then as we got through into June, essentially, we increased so rapidly. And then the latter half of last year, interest rates were still going up. So that's where we really saw a hit in inventory, or I should say a spike in inventory. So The number of active listings, though, other than January, where we had an extra 500 listings compared to January of 2022, you could see we started clearing out that active inventory. So it went from 2,400 homes available for sale in January of 2023 to 2,150, then it decreased again, and now we're back up to 2,500. But again, that's the seasonality because more people are going to be listing their houses uh, in the spring and summer. So you compare this year, June of 2023 at 2,500 or 2,550 almost, to 2,900 in June of 2022 and 2021. When you compare it to, you know, June of 2019, we had almost 6,000 listings. So you had well over 2x the amount of houses that were available for sale. And that's where, yes, interest rates have crushed demand quite considerably, but when you consider how few houses are available for sale, even though the demand has been decreased, so has the inventory or the supply. And that's what we're looking at for this next slide here. Months of inventory. Basically, 4 to 6 months is the conventional wisdom as far as what a balanced market is. I think really 3 to 5 months is probably more realistic, but anything lower than that as far as months of inventory, that's considered a seller's market. So you could see how hot of a seller's market it was, especially in all of 2021. We actually got below 1 month of inventory in December. And then basically we had that spike in January of this year, but you look and you compare inventory or months of inventory here compared to the past, 4 years before that, and really we're not that far off of last year's numbers in 2021, and we're still actually at lower inventory than 2020 and definitely lower than 2019. So once again, that just goes to show there are still more buyers than there are houses for sale, which is going to keep those house prices afloat. So that leads to the next slide, the sale price average. I like looking at both the average and the median. So you'll see here, just comparing year over year, because this is the whole thing that started it. I wanted to see how we compared to Redfin and the typical U.S. home. So as far as the average sale price, we actually are higher than we've ever been within that 25-mile radius of Medina. So that's where I'm working again today. Last year in June, we peaked for the year. That was an all-time high at an average sale price of $268,000. This year, through June, we were $5,000 more than that, not the $4,000 lower than that. So again, this is where local data is going to trump what you hear or what you read about for national data, because there is no such thing as a national housing market. Every market is hyper local. You'll even see here, I mean, if I really wanted to break it down more, I exited out of the map there. If I wanted to break it down more, I mean, I can look, the Medina market is way different than the Worcester market, which is way different than the Cleveland market. And even within the Cleveland market, I mean, you could go to different parts of Cuyahoga County and you're looking at, Bay Village versus East Cleveland. So like that's where when they're just running numbers and they say Cleveland Metro, which, they do point that out in certain reports. Well, the Cleveland Metro includes a wide range of areas there. So we are seeing on a month-over-month base, or I'm sorry, year-over-year basis, basically it's been pretty comparable all year. You had a slight decrease in January, an increase in February, slight increase in March, increase in April, decrease in May, and then an increase in June. So when we're looking at year-over-year, we're still seeing that home prices are staying steady and slightly going up here in the Northeast Ohio market. I do like looking at the median as well, and basically every month for the median home price, so that's if you sold 99 houses and you looked at house number 50, 49 houses sold less than house number 50, 49 houses sold greater than house number 50. That 50th house out of 99 is that middle point, that 50th percentile, basically. So that's what we're looking at here for the median sale price. And you can see January is above last year, February is above last year, March is, April is, May had a $700 decrease compared to last year, and then June was above June of 2022 as well. So 5 out of 6 months, the median sale price has increased here in Northeast Ohio. And then lastly, the only other thing, and I probably should have brought this up, maybe there's a better segue earlier with months of inventory, but it's just the days to sell. So what's the median days to sell for the 111,000 listings since 2019? We're looking at the month by month breakdown. Once again, when you compare 2023 to the previous 4 years, you can look and see, okay, this is probably in line more with 2021. 33 days to sell for the median compared to 31, 32 in February for each of those months, 25 compared to 23 days to sell in 2021. And then you start seeing the differentiators here as 2021 really started heating up April through July, where we were seeing an average of fewer than 10 days on market before it sold. And again, this is just median. The bottom line is, because you still are seeing 10 days in June of 2023, the bottom line is, if you're pricing a home well, especially if it doesn't need a lot of updates, it's going to sell here in Northeast Ohio, whether you're looking Medina County, Cuyahoga County, Lorain, or Summit, any of those areas, because there's just not a lot available for sale, and these buyers are hungry, and they just want something. They want to stop renting. They want to move for whatever reason, and that's why it's so important to actually price a home correctly, because if you price a home correctly, you're still going to get multiple offers. You're probably not going to see your crazy high over asking. That's actually one thing that I'll run right now live. But let's see, close price to list price ratio here. So yeah, I mean, you could see, once again, January, February, those are down months in 2023, but since then, we're seeing 100% of asking price, basically. So things are selling above list, but you could see compared to June of 2022 and June of 2021, those were between 2.5% and 3% over list price was the average. Now we're seeing, okay, whatever you're asking almost is what you're getting, but again, that doesn't mean ask a higher price. It just means you have to be reasonable, and if you are pricing things well, they are going to sell. So that's just my quick little video, or not so quick little video. If you have questions and you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in Northeast Ohio, please feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions, anything like that. I'd love to talk with you because I love talking about real estate, and I love doing research as well. So if you want any particular breakdown of a specific city, you could always message me about that as well, and I'd be happy to help. Thanks, and have a great day.